All right, Kyle Louder there for us.
Thanks, Kyle. Josephine Hunt is here, national education expert, and also Daisha Toll joins as co-founder and co-CEO of the Course Mojo, a website devoted to teacher support. So welcome to you both, and thanks for coming on. Okay, it's easier said than done, right? Just don't give your kid a cell phone, Josephine, and you'll have all the answers taken care of. They'll be great readers, and you won't have to worry about it. But is that as realistic as it sounds?
No, it's really not. And actually, with the new Toy Story 5 movie that just came out, that was a great topic that was discussed there too. It's a tool, right? I mean, these are all tools that we have for us and for our children, but we have to be very proactively mindful in increasing more face-to-face engagement, not just for academic skills, but also for social skills. We're seeing a lot of social and emotional deprivation because our children are just having more screen time. And just developmentally appropriate social and emotional skills have really declined almost into like a health impairment. So just looking at all the data and the research, we need to go back to being more human and just using the screen and devices at a minimal and just as a tool.
Daisha, what's the difference between, I mean, some of these classrooms are now teaching with iPads, their laptops. What's the difference between a cell phone and one of these other tools that they're using that are electronic?
Well, I think the difference is less the device and more about what students are doing on the device. And so one of the things that Kyle highlighted in his story is that phone screen time is mostly passive time. They're scrolling, they're listening. It's dominated more and more by video, not text content even. And what your brain needs to learn is active engagement, what's called productive struggle. And that's the difference between active learning and passive learning is what we really have to engage with. And then, as Josephine said, we have to think about the social experience of learning. We have to think about what's cognitively going on with your brain, and then we have to think about what are your interactions with other human beings.
Yeah, great point. And I think, Josephine, too, it kind of depends what the other kids in the classroom are doing, right? You don't want your child to feel like they're left out because their best friend's parents give them a cell phone early on, and so then they aren't in the group chat, and then they're missing out on the social media posts. I mean, would it be beneficial for parents actually to come together and work on finding a solution?
Yes, that's why we need like laws and policies to help that as well. I mean, because and we do educate parents as well, and just to continue the conversation in order for parents to understand like the magnitude of what's occurring. We do see a lot of dysregulation. I'm a public school teacher, and we see our students just having a lot of like social and emotional conflicts and dysregulation, and a lot of it is due to like excess screen time. There's a lot of input that they're taking in, and for children under the ages of 25, really, our brains are not fully developed. And there's just a lot of magnitude that happens there. We have to just keep the conversation going with the research.
Daisha, you're going to have some parents out there that say, I want my kid to have a cell phone. I want to be able to get a hold of them if it's a safety issue or, for whatever reason, if they want their kid to be available. How do you go about this in maybe the schools in terms of how do they patrol this, police this, making sure that it satisfies all sides?
Yeah, it's a little tricky, but I will say schools are doing overall a very nice job. There was a wave of legislation that passed over the last 2 years restricting screen time in schools and specifically banning cell phones. And they have now figured out a variety of policies. Some of them have the kids put their phones in pouches. Some of them it's as simple as the teacher says, if I see it, I take it. So it is another thing that we're asking schools to do. But as somebody who spends a lot of time in schools across the country, it has made a difference to keep the cell phones away from the daily instruction and the distraction that they pose. I think, though, what this study brings up is that restricting phone use in schools is helpful, but totally insufficient because the kids, the average 12 to 17-year-old is spending 3 to 4 hours a day on devices. And most of that time, frankly, is outside of school hours now.
Wow.
And so it does fall. I'm a parent of two teenage boys. It falls on us as parents. And we don't hand a teenager car keys on their 16th birthday with no lessons and say, like, good luck. We train them. We supervise them. We add privileges gradually. And a phone, I think we're all understanding, is a very powerful tool. And we need to take the same approach to the kind of guidance and teaching that we have to do for young people, for all of us, about when and how to use tech and when not to.
Yeah. Great reminder, great input, and it is a challenge that we are facing as technology continues to advance. Josephine and Daisha, thank you very much for joining us here on First Edition.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having us.
You're welcome. All right, John and Don.